Hey everybody, welcome back to Bronx World. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Alan, and today we're going to dive into something that is one of my favorite things, right? Trip planning, right? I like going on the trips better, don't get me wrong, but I love planning a good trip. And today we're going to just go over the things that I do to plan a trip to make sure I have fun, enjoy myself, see the things I want to see, and do the things I want to do. And all at the same time, staying safe and being ready for what may or may not come. So, step one, choosing your destination. Where do you want to go, right? A lot of people I've heard, I want to go see this, I want to go see that. Hey, we should go see this. That's great. Go see those things that your friends want to see. Do the things that they want to do. But don't forget to do what you want to do and go where you want to go, right? Myself, going to the beach, not the greatest thing because I look like a beached whale, right? I'm working on that and it'll get there, but I'd rather just ride my bike, see the curvy roads, go up in the mountains, go down, drive past the water, do those things, I like it when it's warm, it's beautiful outside, you get the nice scenery. So yeah, always try to pick some place that you want to go. And hey, I always hear someone say, someday I'd like to go there, someday I'd like to do that. Someday is now. So get out there, find that place you want to go, and go. My wife this year said, well, it was last year, but she said, hey, let's go to Myrtle Beach for your 50th birthday. I said, that's a great idea. I'll ride my bike, right? So now I'm going to go across country. I think it's about a 1,700 mile ride, but I'm going to ride my bike and get to Myrtle Beach. I also want to go to Florida Keys, so this will give me a little bit of a precursor to that. So, but this year it's Myrtle Beach, and that's the main one we're planning for. We've got other trips later in the year, but that's the one I'm going to use now to go through this video. Step two, mapping your route. All right, you've figured out where you want to go. Me, for instance, let's say Myrtle Beach. You want to plan your route, right? So you need a few different things. With a bike, we like the curvy roads. We like the places with scenery. Want to try to avoid the big traffic areas. So, you got to kind of look at those things. Maybe not travel at night, be able to find a hotel or a campground, that kind of thing. So when you're looking at your route, just make sure you're planning those things, looking ahead to what's really going to be there. Like for me, when I'm going to Myrtle Beach, I live in Minnesota. I call it South Dakota. I'm 10 miles from the South Dakota border, but I live in Minnesota. So the winters, not the nicest things, right? So for me to ride my bike out of here in March is questionable. We may have snow or ice-packed roads, depending on the year. Last year would have been great to drive out of here in March because it was 50 degrees and beautiful. This year, who knows? So currently I have planned to drive straight south. I'm going to actually take my trailer and my Jeep, go straight south to Springfield, Missouri, and then head over. And then I'm going to try to stay south of the big cities like Atlanta, and so I'm not driving through those, and taking the kind of the back highway roads. They'll have a little bit more curves to them, there'll be less traffic, and less issues to deal with. But I'm also trying to find all of my gas stops along the way, right? So just make sure you find those things, know where things are at, and it'll be a fun trip. It's that easy. Also, on mapping your route, don't forget, sometimes there's places you want to stop and see, right? You want to visit a Harley dealer? Go check one out. Put it on your trip. Put it on the planning, the route planning, right? You want to go to Buc-ee's? I love Buc-ee's. I'm actually on my way to Myrtle Beach. I'm going to hit 3 Buc-ee's. So I get it. You got some place that you want to stop, you want to see. Put it on your route. Make it part of your trip and get there and see those things. Next, gear and packing. Obviously, helmet, jacket, gloves, pants, boots, those kind of things. You got to have those just to be safe on the road, right? But besides that, you got to be ready for storms, right? So make sure you have your rain gear, and maybe a towel to help if you get wet, dry you off. Make sure you have a toolkit in case you break down. Make sure you have a first aid kit in case any kind of issues come up. Yeah, you never know what may happen. I've been hit by a bird before on my bike and got a little scratch on my arm. If you start to bleed for some reason, have a first aid kit help you out there. That's a great idea. And of course, if you're like me, don't forget your camera. so I can make good Bronx World content for you guys out there. I got to make sure I bring that along. Batteries, phone charger, that kind of stuff, to make sure you can always stay connected to your family and friends along the way. Okay, number 4, budget and timing. I always take a look at my route and say, okay, how far is it? How far do I want to ride in a day, right? So I make sure that I'll plan it out so that I'll know for my budget, how many hotel rooms or campsites do I need? How much food or gas am I going to need? That kind of stuff. Budget that out. Make sure you know exactly, our gas tanks take about 6 gallons, right? At least mine does. That's how big it is. I don't know how big the tanks are nowadays, but yeah. So 6 gallons there, that'll get me about 220 to 230, maybe 250 miles, depending on wind, direction, that kind of stuff. So I plan about every 220 miles to stop and get gas. So then you can kind of count out your gas stops, and you'll know the budget for that. Motels, campsites, food, that kind of stuff. Make sure you budget for that, and then throw in a little extra for those things that are unplanned. You want to get a T-shirt. You find a ice cream shop you want to stop at, or you want to help a homeless man on the side of the road with a couple bucks. Whatever it is, just make sure you budget for it. That'll just make your trip that much better for you. Also along the way, make sure you check the weather and where you're going, how the weather's going to be. Nothing is worse than nothing is worse than coming up on a storm that you didn't know was going to be there. If you're ready for it, it'll be easy. And number 5, the ride mindset. It's not about the destination. It's about getting there and the journey and the adventure that comes. I found my new saying and my catchphrase we're going to use on this channel a lot. It's therapy is expensive. Wind is free. Get out there and ride and enjoy yourself. But that's basically all I have for trip planning. It's pretty simple, pretty short, and you can set up to be safe and have fun on every adventure that you're going to go on, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this with all your riding buddies. And hopefully we can get out and get some riding here soon. We still got snow and ice-packed roads here in Minnesota, so eventually it'll get better. It's actually going to start getting better this week already, so hopefully it won't be too long. Everybody, again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. This is Alan, Bronx World. Therapy's expensive. Wind is free. We'll see you next time.